also, if they are in the middle of that roundabout, I'm probably going to try to get them to the sidewalk.
Good plan. You do not need to roll to see how you react, okay? But they need to roll to you, okay? And so, there we are. I remember this. Okay, so D20. There. Nope, that's a D30. There we go. Okay, so this is for Goggles Girl. And so your charisma modifier is?
Charisma modifier.
Reaction modifier.
Yeah, to good or to evil.
Yeah.
2. Isn't it 2?
Just -2.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Enthusiastically responds and says, "Oh, thank you." Says, "Yes, we need help. We're new in this horrible, horrible place." And looks to her left and right and says, I think this one can help us." Whereas the insect gives off a warning, bzz, 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 disagreeing violently, and it goes into very much a combat mode. Does not attack you, but hovers up and braces itself, and in fact, some piece of its head is glowing now in a very not nice way. And the person in the cloak does a Dracula swirl of the cloak in front of him and stands back from you and says to the Goggles Girl and says, "I'm not so sure. Be careful." So, in fact, the bug actually it flies in front of Goggles Girl protectively. And is in the sense that, hey, this one looks like they'll help. And the bug's like, no, she will not. Flies right in front. So you are rude. And the person in the cloak says, "We know this place is evil. Don't trust anything here." The girl looking from puts her hand on the bug and looks around to you and says, "Speak quickly. You say you can help. Prove it."
What do you need help with? What do you want here? Why did you come?
She says, "We are trapped here. We have taken a wrong turn between the dimensions. We are trapped here and we must escape. But we can't believe what we see. This is a terrible place." Then you clearly, if you support what's happening here, that's appalling. Look at that as the tram goes by. Chunka, 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 chunka. And they all look horrified. "Stop it," shouts the guy in the cloak and starts running toward it. Around about this point is when the two of you are going to start showing up.
So I see someone running towards the tram.
Right. And he's
Is that swirling cloak running?
Yeah. And he's going toward the driver's car. As remember how it often stops in the middle of the circle before going on to the stop, as it's going from Escolan. And so it just stops right there, and he puts his finger on his forehead, and energy starts to form in front of his his forehead, and he says, "I'll stop him. He won't hurt anyone again."
Quick question. Can I
Ooh.
use my force field also to put it in between the tram and the
Yes,
guy?
absolutely.
Because
you
that's
can.
what I would like to do.
Mhm. And the bug is is going to turn that ray and zap the tram. In the
No,
meantime, Mhm.
it's not because I'm going to.
Perhaps they're upset with us killing all these bugs. Catch
And the let's see here. Right. Right. She'll turn toward you and say, "I'm sorry, but I can't let you stop us. Maybe they've deceived you."
Okay, I'm gonna need someone to explain what's going on here.
Well, as you walk in.
Yeah, but
Okay.
someone to explain.
Jump upon that tram.
Well,
What is going on here?
I think we need to do is for all the characters involved to roll D10.
Mhm.
Okay, keep your number. Plus your agility. Okay. So 8, 20, 10, 13, and then over here, yes, we've got agility 9 plus 14. Okay, anybody got higher than 20?
21.
Okay, you are fastest. And so you are going to begin a turn. We're going to begin a turn. The number received for initiative is the number of the first phase during which you may act. So we are on phase 21. We're going to count down. When we're done with 21, then we have a new turn. Okay, so then, and since you get to go 15 phases later, so you will get to go again before the end of the turn.
Yeah, that's 6.
Yeah. On 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So then let's see here. Although any action performed after the first costs 2 points of power. All right. You will be spending power to take more actions on a turn. So you may delay an action if you want to wait for something. You can. You cannot save, but if you go run out the turn, then they're lost. And so an action, you may move, you may perform an action, or both. And the way it works is that any little actions will eat up movement, is the idea. So you have a move and an action if you want to do something complicated. Or if you want to do something like open a door or get something or whatever, would just reduce how much you can move. And then plenty of things. Acting, evading is an action. I'm trying to remember how you evade. Oh, right. To evade, you're going to have to basically save your action and then evade when they attack you. Right now, you said you were going to interpose your force fields, right? Okay. So your plan
To put a barrier
Yes.
between the tram and the
Absolutely.
guests.
And so.
I noticed your little spider run.
Okay. So the idea here is you're going to it won't cost you power just to set it up. You've got a lot of power right now, right?
Yeah.
How much?
63.
Okay, we'll call it 64 because that'll make it easier. Because you'll get 1 foot per side per point of power. So that means if we divide that by 4, then that's 32. That's 16 feet by 16 feet square. So over about 3 meters. No, about 5 meters square. Yeah. So that's what you can set up.
Mm-hmm.
You will only spend power when something hits it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so you have set that up.
Could you set it up at a distance or only in your?
No, it's
near
definitely at a
vicinity?
distance. It's endurance times 2. What's your endurance?
23?
Right. You have 46 feet of distance to set.
So I can
Okay.
easily reach the
Easily
the
reach
track.
40. It's
Yeah,
right,
so
it's within your range.
and the size of this force field
It's
is
about 5 meters. Yeah.
big enough to cover the
Yeah, the front of the train easily.
driver's
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. So that's
So I
exactly what you would
Or,
expect.
or just the front of his head.
Yeah. Fortunately, she's
No,
got more power.
5
Yeah.
meters
Ah,
would be
yeah.
bigger than that. It's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah,
the
she would have to be a little
driver's
more
cabin.
careful if she had less power, but she has plenty of power.
Right.
Okay, so then,
That's 20.
but 20 what? Yeah, that's on 20.
Yeah.
Now, how about the next person to go? What do you have?
I got 17.
17?
11.
Okay, so 17, you're next. All of them are going into action. The goggles girl looks as though she's generating brilliant light. And the great big bug is actually, that's really interesting. Yeah, it's the front of its head is glowing, and it's going to emit a beam toward the back of the train.
Or glow bug or a glow fly.
It's flying right in there.
Yeah.
And to restrain the girl with my whip.
Okay.
Like, get curled around
Okay.
from distance.
Excellent. Okay, so technically that's a hand-to-hand attack, and she's got he's never be allowed to take a right hand attack, and there's a little distance there, so the distance modifier does matter. It's actually, but that's not enough. She's close enough, so it won't give you a modifier. All the distances here are given in inches. Except that in this game, an inch means 5 feet. You see, these old games were played on battle
Right,
mats.
yes, of course.
And so you
Yeah.
use the inches
Mhm.
or the hexes were all in,
Yeah.
and because you used a ruler, right?
Mhm.
And so for these old games, you have to figure out what they mean by an inch, which is really crazy. So in this one, it's 5 feet. So it's not a problem.
Right.
So then that means you're going to make an attack. See this hand-to-hand thing? The way it works is that if you're against any one of these defenses, that's the number you need to hit.
Okay.
But here, you don't, if there's none of these involved, then you would use this number in parentheses. Okay, so use the combat temporal bow equal to the smallest number received, right? Right, and then okay. And I believe you have to get that number or below. If I'm remembering correctly. But that really makes a big difference. Right, and so then we say +4. So the +4 applies to that.
And plus 6,
Right.
Plus 6 it would be.
+6 for your weight, yeah. I'm sorry, I really should have reviewed this, but I'm going to just quickly look at their example of play. Right. Oh, it's that number or less. Okay, so you have to roll a 5 or less, but plus 6, so 11 or less on d20. That is how it works. Oh, okay. So now, technically speaking, this would do damage, but since you're just trying to restrain her, that's it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so
Can I also put these in parentheses?
well, so were you trying to make a paralysis attack? Actually, technically you were, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Restraining and stop from doing. If the paralysis can't really do anything.
Right. So so yeah, let's call this the paralysis attack. In which case, I need to look at that table just to see if you hit or not. So you rolled. Well, you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
So there's no way
Yeah.
you obviously hit. I just want to make sure that we're looking at the. Oh, and that's another thing. Yeah. Attacker's experience level. Oh, and you're -1 because they're the same experience level as you. So that's so at the moment you have a 10 or paralysis there, 12. So you actually needed it was a lot easier to hit with a paralysis. So it's actually 18 -1, 17 or less.
I rolled a 1.
And you roll 1. Okay, good.
I
So-
think I'm safe.
Yeah, I just want. Oh yeah. I just want to make sure we do the numbers right.
Yeah.
So I can work my way through it. Now paralysis. A successful hit caused unconsciousness in the target without hit point lost. Okay. Yeah, they are effectively stunned out at that point. All right, it costs you 7
Power.
7 power. Okay, so sorry that took so long. That was on 17, correct?
Yeah.
And you had 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So next is going to go Panda. Will zap at the tram. And this effect is a little bit terrifying because it's a disintegration ray. And the tram has no special defense, so therefore we'll just go for disintegration, 15 or less.
We need a super tram. Jump around.
15. So, right. A hit inflicts each point of damage scored, right? So, D20.
Don't keep protecting it.
Only the
No, that
driver's
was the front.
part.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
Yeah.
the panda is the insect.
correct.
Oh,
Black and
okay.
white, remember, Leslie?
Mhm.
Okay, so 12 points of damage, each 5 points. Yeah, it's 10 structural points for. Ooh, God. Okay, they've got over 2 cubic feet of the tram where it contacted the track, the wheel contacted the track, and the track vaporized. And the tram, suddenly it had stopped, but it's immobilized. And Panda doesn't seem like they're going to stop. They're planning on vaporizing this whole thing. And that occurs. The power cost, to make sure that I'm doing this right, up here, 2, power -2. Power. Okay, so then finally, a wave of oh my God. Okay. This fellow is going to be zapping here with a 9 or less, no distance modifier, accuracy, I should have remembered accuracy, +0, so no special things on that. Okay. +2 damage modifier. Okay. So this is harder.